Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for November 3rd, 2020, from Daniel chapter 2, God's Answer to the Dream. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream and asked his advisors to interpret the dream. However, the king would not reveal the details of the dream. If the advisors would fail to provide the details and its interpretation, they would die. However, God did reveal the dream and its interpretation to Daniel, who goes to the king with this information. Verse 27, Daniel answered the king and said, "No wise man, enchanters, magicians, or astrologers can show the king the mystery that the king has asked. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days. Your dream and the visions of your head as you lay there in bed are these." Verse 31, "You saw, O king, and behold a great image. This image, mighty and of exceeding brightness, stood before you, and its appearance was frightening." Daniel goes on and continues describing the details of the dream to King Nebuchadnezzar. Then, verse 36, "This was the dream, and now we will tell the king its interpretation. You, O king, the King of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power, and the might, and the glory, and into whose hands he has given, wherever they dwell, the children of man, the beasts of the field, and the birds of the heavens, making you rule over them all. You are the head of gold." Daniel goes on and continues to tell King Nebuchadnezzar more about the interpretation of this dream from God. But let's jump down to verse 44. "And in the days of those kings, the God of heavens will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed, nor shall the kingdom be left to another people. It shall break in pieces all these kingdoms and bring them to an end, and it shall stand forever." Embedded in King Nebuchadnezzar's dream is Christ. As verse 44 states, "For God will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed." Only Christ's kingdom lasts forever. So verse 44 is describing Christ. We need to keep that especially in mind, especially since today in the United States is Election Day. And while we appreciate our country and we want our country to continue, only Christ will last forever. Regardless of the election results, we put our faith and trust in Christ alone. Verse 45, "Just as you saw a stone was cut from a mountain by no human hand, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold, a great God has made known to the king what shall be after this. The dream is certain, and its interpretation sure." How can a stone break iron and bronze? Well, you got to remember this stone was not cut by human hands. The result, it must be cut by God. Which means God is doing the work. Consider this reference in Daniel and what Jesus says of himself in Luke chapter 20, verse 17. "But Jesus looked directly at them and said, 'What then is this that is written? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, and everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces. And when it falls on anyone, it will crush him.'" Would King Nebuchadnezzar understand this promise in reference to Christ? Would he be able to comprehend and then put his faith and trust in Christ? Well, we'll find out. Verse 47, the king answered and said to Daniel, truly your God is the God of gods and Lord of kings and a revealer of mysteries, for you have been able to reveal this mystery. Verse 48, then the king gave Daniel high honors and many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief prefect over all the wise men of Babylon. Daniel made a request of the king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel remained at the king's court. While we appreciate King Nebuchadnezzar raising up Daniel and his associates, did the king truly understand? Unfortunately, we got chapter 3 to reckon with, and the quick answer is probably not. So join me again tomorrow as we hear about the large golden image. God's peace and many blessings be with you. Thank you for watching, and please take an opportunity to share this video with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for watching.